Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be recapping a horror movie called 13 Ghosts. Let's get started. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie starts in a junkyard where we see a group of people arrive and set up their equipment for something that is definitely suspicious. Then a rich man gets out of his car, who is the mastermind behind everything that's going on. This man's name is Cyrus, and he is here to catch a ghost. He has an assistant named Dennis who has psychic powers which allow him to feel the presence of ghosts around him. With the help of his powers, Cyrus has caught many ghosts before, and tonight he is planning to catch his 12th one. Dennis senses that the ghost they're after is a very strong one, so he suggests they should abandon the plan and retreat. But Cyrus doesn't want to return empty-handed and is unshaken in his quest to catch a dead soul. Dennis uses his powers and points to where the ghost is. Then they bring out a huge glass chamber in which they intend to capture the ghost in. Cyrus's men catch two people who are against what Cyrus is planning to do with the captured ghost. Kalina warns him against trying to play God, and she tells him whatever he catches, the 12th ghost or not, he still needs one more to complete his devious plans. And to catch that 13th ghost, he needs a spell which he doesn't have. Cyrus doesn't allow them to interrupt his plan and asks his men to take them away from him. Then a recorder starts to play a spell, and the ghost soon makes its appearance. The ghost is the strongest among all the other ghosts that they have encountered, and it starts to kill many of the men who are trying to capture it. At the end, the ghost enters the glass chamber and gets captured by Dennis. The 12th ghost has been captured, but it cost the lives of many men. Kalina's friend who came with her to stop Cyrus is heavily injured and will not survive. But the most surprising death of all is of Cyrus, the one who is behind all of this. After the death of Cyrus, we see Arthur, a widower who lives with his two children, Kathy and Bobby, along with their nanny Maggie. Ever since losing his wife in a fire, Arthur has been struggling financially and hasn't been able to give his children a better life. But all of that is going to change as a man knocks on his door and introduces himself as the lawyer of Cyrus. The lawyer tells Arthur that Cyrus had left a will before his death, which states that his house will now belong to Arthur and his family. Cyrus left his house to Arthur because he was his uncle. Even though Arthur had met Cyrus only twice in his life, the idea of inheriting a house has him and his family very excited. They drive to their new home and are thrilled to finally have a huge house to their name. But the look on the lawyer's face suggests otherwise. Soon they reach their destination, and the house that Cyrus left is an unusual one, covered mostly with glasses rather than brick walls. An electrician is already waiting outside the house, and when the lawyer asks him why he was there, he answers that he was there to fix the short circuit which has caused the neighboring houses to lose their power. The lawyer doesn't want him to enter the house, but Arthur lets him enter. The electrician is none other than Dennis, the man who would help Cyrus capture the ghost, but why is he here? Arthur opens up the lock to the house, which triggers a huge clock to start ticking. They all enter the house and find everything covered with glass. And the glass walls have something written on them in Latin. Bobby sees that a dial is moving on the floor. He tries to touch it, but Arthur stops him from doing so. The dial that's moving on the floor has 12 strange signs on them. The family gets busy exploring the house, and Dennis moves downstairs where he clearly isn't repairing anything. He actually got inside the house to steal money from Cyrus, which he was promised before his death. Instead of the money, he finds large glass chambers surrounding the hallway, and he soon starts to experience severe pain in his head. Due to his psychic ability, he feels such pain when he's near a ghost. Dennis then wears a special spec which allows him to see ghosts around him. After wearing the spec, Dennis finds out that the glass chambers had all the ghosts which Cyrus had captured. Cyrus immediately runs out of there and tells Arthur about the ghost. He reveals everything about what his uncle used to do before his death. Dennis warns Arthur to not stay in the house and get his children away from there as soon as possible. But the lawyer and Arthur find it difficult to trust him. Dennis's head all of a sudden starts to ache badly, and Arthur goes up to see if he's okay. But when Arthur touches him, Dennis's psychic ability makes him see something about Arthur's life which he wishes he hadn't. Meanwhile, the lawyer has gone downstairs and he's wearing the specs through which he is able to see all the ghosts locked inside those glass chambers. But seeing those ghosts, the lawyer isn't shocked because he knew all along about what Cyrus used to do. He goes into a room and grabs the briefcase, which supposedly had money inside. Lifting the bag up from its place triggers something that locks every door and windows get locked. The suspicious dial also starts moving on the floor, and stops at a point which unlocks one of the 13 chambers that have ghosts inside it. A female ghost steps out of the chamber and steps towards the lawyer with a knife in her hand. The lawyer steps back from the ghost but gets cut in half when the door gets shut on him. Arthur's son Bobby has managed to get his hands on one of the special specs, which allow him to see the ghost. While running around the house, he hears a voice and decides to follow it. Soon he finds himself alone in a place where he realizes that he's being watched by someone. Bobby gets scared and decides to run for his life, but he hits a glass wall and falls to the floor. The specs fall off from his eyes, but he still hears a voice which tells him to get away from there and find his dad. Bobby wears the specs and sees that the voice is none other than his mother, who had died in a fire. Cyrus had captured the ghost of Arthur's wife. Bobby is left scared and confused seeing his dead mother in front of him. He steps back and hits the chamber which has the ghost of Cyrus, who pulls Bobby inside the chamber. Arthur, on the other hand, is worried about his son. He wants to go look for him. He asks Dennis to help him since he worked with Cyrus before and knows what's happening in that house. Now Dennis takes all of them downstairs. Arthur and Kathy go to one direction to look for Bobby, and Dennis and Maggie go to the other. Dennis finds out that one of the ghosts has escaped from the chamber. Kathy, with the help of the specs, also sees a ghost in front of her. The ghost attacks her and starts dragging her. Arthur tries to stop it and pulls Kathy toward him. Arthur struggles to save his daughter from the ghost, but just then Kalina makes her entrance and helps Arthur save his daughter. She's the same woman that lost her friend while trying to stop Cyrus. Kalina takes Kathy inside a room which is protected from the ghost. Arthur asks who she is and how she got inside the house. Kalina makes Arthur wear the spec and shows him that the house has captured ghosts. She tells him that she is someone who rescues trapped souls, and she got inside the house through a window before everything got locked. She shows Arthur a book which was written in the 15th century by an astrologer named Vasilius. When Vasilius wrote this book, he was under demonic possession, and the book contains instructions on how to make a machine which lets humans see into the future. The device is designed by the devil and is powered by the dead. Cyrus knew about this device. That's why he was capturing ghosts and keeping them captured inside his house. Cyrus even made the device, which is in the very center of the house. And to run the device, he needed 12 special ghosts, but he died while capturing the 12th one. Arthur notices that his daughter has gone missing from there. Then we see the machine that has started to spin at a very high speed. The doors and the walls of the house start to move randomly, making it hard for anyone inside to navigate their way out. Kalina tells Arthur that they need to get inside the library because it's the only place that is safe from the ghost. The library is covered with glass, which has Latin spells written on it, which keeps the ghost away. The two of them head towards the library, and on their way, they meet Maggie and Dennis. The four of them start to move towards the library. Then suddenly, Arthur gets attacked by one of the ghosts and manages to heavily injure him. Dennis throws a flare at the ghost, and they manage to save Arthur's life. The four of them immediately run and get inside the library. Dennis is freaking out because of the ghosts, and Kalina blames him for helping Cyrus capture those ghosts. The two of them get into an argument, and Arthur stops them, saying they don't have time to blame anyone for this. But Kalina reveals something to Arthur which completely shakes him. Among the 12 ghosts that Cyrus captured, the 4th ghost is none other than Arthur's wife. He gets angry at Dennis and punches him. He asks why he captured the dead soul of his wife. Dennis replies that it was Cyrus who had picked all of the ghosts. He says that after touching Arthur, he found out that the ghost was his wife. That's why he was trying to help get him and his family out of the house. Kalina tells Arthur that to run the device, Cyrus needed 12 special kinds of ghosts which had to fulfill a specific criteria, and his wife happened to be a fit to fulfill the spot of the 4th ghost. She tells him that once the device starts to run, it will attract all the ghosts to its center, and then it will use the energy of those ghosts to completely power itself. After that, the eye of hell will open up, and whoever gets control over the eye will get the power to see everything from the past, present, and future, even heaven and hell. The man with this power will be the most powerful in the entire world. So far, 11 ghosts have gotten out of the chamber, and when the 12th one gets out, the device will start to attract all of them towards it. But Dennis recalls that Cyrus always used to talk about 13 ghosts, but the house only has 12. Kalina reveals that the 13th ghost is someone that can stop all of this from happening. She says the device needs dead souls to power up, so it can only be stopped by the sacrifice of a life. To stop the device from opening the eye of hell, it needs someone to willingly end his life and become the 13th ghost. Arthur asks how a human can sacrifice his life to become the 13th ghost. Kalina replies that to sacrifice himself, he needs to jump into the eye, which will take his life, but will also stop the eye from opening. Arthur is contemplating sacrificing his life for the sake of his children. Dennis tries to stop him and says there must be another way to stop it. Dennis feels that something might be missing from the book, but Arthur isn't ready to trust him. Arthur is worried that his children might lose their life if he doesn't sacrifice himself before. Dennis suggests that they go look out for his children one last time before the 12th ghost gets out of the chamber. Dennis and Arthur take a glass sheet with them, which has protective spells written on it. They use the glass as protection and start looking for his children. They soon get attacked by ghosts and are able to save themselves because of the glass sheet. But soon more ghosts appear before him and they can't save both of themselves. Dennis decides to sacrifice his life and puts himself in front of the glass to save Arthur. Those ghosts attack Dennis and take his life. Maggie and Kalina, on the other hand, are in the room and suddenly Cyrus's ghost makes his entrance. Maggie gets scared by it and Kalina knocks her out with the book. But why did she do that? Kalina takes her specs off, but Cyrus is still visible to her. Cyrus was never dead, and Kalina and him have been working together on this. Kalina loves Cyrus and was acting to be against him. She killed her own friend to steal the spells necessary for the sacrifice of the 13th ghost. But Cyrus is only concerned about the spell and was just using her for his own benefit. Kalina was also telling lies to Arthur that he needs to sacrifice his life to stop the device. But in fact, Arthur sacrificing his life is the final step required for the device to fully power up and open the eyes of hell. She tells Cyrus they shouldn't risk the lives of the children to make Arthur sacrifice himself. But Cyrus clearly doesn't care about anyone, not even Kalina. He plays the spell which starts to attract all of the ghosts towards the device. Then he gets out of that room and locks Kalina behind. Her job there was done, and Cyrus has nothing left to gain from her. Arthur sees that his children are in the middle of the device. He puts his specs on and finds that all the 12 ghosts have surrounded them. Cyrus put them in there so that Arthur will jump in there to save his children and sacrifice his life. Arthur also sees Cyrus, who he still believes to be a ghost. Then he remembers what Kalina told him. To get the device to run, it needs the energy of 12 ghosts. And to stop it, Arthur needs to be the 13th ghost and sacrifice his life. He starts to think, if all the 12 ghosts are there, and he is supposed to become the 13th one, then what is the ghost of Cyrus doing there? He opens his specs and finds out that Cyrus is still alive. He finds out that he was lied to, and his sacrifice will only power the device, which will give Cyrus the power of the Eye of Hell. He starts to attack Cyrus, but he isn't as strong as his uncle. Cyrus says that to save his children, he must sacrifice himself. Cyrus is forcing him to be the 13th ghost. But before Arthur could do anything, Maggie gets back to consciousness and immediately stops the spell from playing. She starts to mess up everything in hopes that she will stop the device from running. Cyrus gets distracted and Arthur uses this opportunity to fight against him. With the spell stopped, all the ghosts disappear from the device, and they have one target in mind. They all go to Cyrus and take his life mercilessly. After that, the ghost of Dennis appears before Arthur and tells him that he has the power to stop the device. He can save his children. The device is moving at a high speed around Bobby and Kathy. Arthur jumps on the device, and just then, the house starts to blow up. When everything settles, we see Arthur has managed to save the lives of his children, and the ghosts are also freed. Arthur's wife appears before them and tells them she loves them, before disappearing into the afterlife. At the end, Maggie, who is stressed out after all that has happened, decides to quit her job. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more movie recaps.